is actually take two on this thing. We had a hell of a podcast. My microphone screwed up a little bit, okay? So we're redoing it. Probably won't be as good. No, it will be better. Because I got Coach Kerry Keyton here, East Lansing Trojan, offensive line coach. Terrific. Former Spartan. By the way, we're a stone's throw away from Spartan Stadium. We're going to cover a lot in this podcast, okay? But, since we met last, I had the flu this week and had to move it back, and thanks for the well wishes. We had to move it back and to today. I think Sunday, maybe this is a better time anyway. We'll talk about Michigan State football, Michigan football, college football, which we both follow. I love the former Spartans' perspective on everything. So a lot has happened since a week ago Thursday, okay? A lot, way too much. Disconcerting for me, and the Spartan team disconcerting for him. But before we get into that, let's talk about his East Lansing Trojans. 8 wins in a row for head coach Bill Ferracco and Kerry and all the other great staff members. They beat Lansing Everett 42-20. Ironically, Kerry coached for the Everett Vikings for a number of years with Marcel Carruthers. Absolutely. So, and this is the second time that East Lansing beat Everett. A good win. The playoffs onward. They'll play Lakeland. Milford Lakeland on Friday, 7 o'clock at Lindsey Adams Stadium. So let's just talk about, real briefly, your overview of that, a good win, and 8 straight wins again for the Trojans.
Great win for the kids. Line blocked well. Coach Jorge has been working with the kids since this summer, the line, and we were putting the finishing touches on some things. Jace ran very well. Ben had a great game. The Everett kids, Coach Jaleel at Everett, they brought, first time we played them, they brought the juice to us.
Yeah.
Our kids weren't ready. We were as coaches. Hey man, that's a good aggressive kids.
Right.
But the aggressiveness that they brought the first game, our kids weren't ready for it. So that was our mantra this week was, we're going to meet that aggression right there, and they did that, and we ran the ball well. Ben threw the ball well once again. Charlie caught everything as usual.
Yeah, a lot two-dimensional offense for East Lansing moving forward, and I think that's key. And then you had a block punt at the end. You probably don't like that.
Yeah, and that's just a lack of focus on our kids. It was 42-12. Game was over. Blah blah blah. Well, you still have to stay locked in. If nothing else, for your teammates that are out there playing, they're locked in while you're playing. Yeah. You stay locked in while they're playing. Right. Because again, it's a team.
Right.
And so that was a little frustrating to give that up at the end, but like Coach said, survive and advance and move on to the next week.
So good luck to the Trojans on Friday night. Also, kudos to Everett High School representing City of Lansing very well, as well as the Sexton Big Reds. Competed very well against Portland.
Very well against Portland.
They lost 2 games this year. All they did to Portland, which is in Division 4, probably an eventual state champion. John Navarro is a hell of a coach. 25 years for John Navarro. He brings it.
And when they go in, they're good. Hey man, they don't win into DeWitt and Pop DeWitt numerous times.
Yeah.
So when they do that, you get a man the props and let them know that's a very good football team and program.
Yeah.
The coach has out there.
That's a throwback deal.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, like I said, they're playing between these 2 walls right here. Who's tough enough?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so again, since last Thursday, a lot has happened. Since we were kind of pre-hyping the Michigan State game. You know how that game. I won't bring that up, but Michigan's got enough problems.
It was a butt whooping that we took. Period.
Absolutely, but obviously, University of Michigan, my alma mater, very near and dear to me. This news about the sign scandal and all these other things that have come out on a drip, a private investigation. I wonder who's paying for that. But anyway, regardless, it's disturbing. I don't like it. I've been following Michigan as a media standpoint for 22 years right now, and when you find out how the baloney's made, you don't become such a fanboy as I once was with Michigan. I've had kind of a back and forth on Harbaugh. People have known that, although I like what he's been doing the last 2 years. But Michigan fans are reaching out to me, what's going on. I do have some intel inside. And by the time this podcast is posted later today here on Sunday, who knows what else will break out.
Right.
And so My point is, for those Michigan fans who say, "Oh, it's just a witch hunt," pump the brakes. For the Michigan haters who say, "Oh, kill the program, death penalty, 3 to 5 years out of football. They've been cheating all forever, blah, 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 blah." Those in Columbus, those perhaps in East Lansing, and other Michigan haters, because Michigan is basically the Dallas Cowboys of college football. Either love them or hate them. There are a lot of haters. Pump the brakes as well. Let's let this play out. But I will say this: it's negativity to an otherwise really good season right now. Michigan was idle this week. They're 8-0. They host Purdue next Saturday night. I will be there, but I'm just let the process play out. Your thoughts on this situation, Kerry?
Well, it's like we always used to say at Everett, if things going awry or whatever, it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
There's people way above our pay grades that are doing whatever needs to be done.
Right.
To figure out what was done, what wasn't done, who did what, whatever. And the way things are nowadays, you're not getting away with anything.
Right.
If it's out there,
cameras everywhere.
If it's out there, they're gonna find it.
Right.
So it's gonna take care of itself. And then the question is, what's going to happen?
Yeah. To what degree? Because you got the CFP involved, you got the Big Ten involved, you got NCAA, you got Connor Stallions on this staff who had served up a 500-page dissertation on how to become them. I mean, he's a little kooky. Let's be real. Like, here's the thing: like Nick Saban has like 50 people on his staff coaching. Think about that from what it was when we were playing.
Literally.
And it's not just position coaches. You got to be quote unquote analysts. You got GAs. You got quality control people. You got analysts up the wazoo.
When I go out to practice now, I just from a general standpoint.
Right.
We had. There was like 4 managers, equipment manager guys.
Yeah.
You ain't got like 20 of them young kids running around getting balls. Each
squirting bottles here and there.
Offensive line has their own equipment people running. The trainers, they got trained. It is such a huge operation right now.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. But you got to manage that. And manage it. Manage it. Okay, so Jim Harbaugh did not know. If he did not know, okay, in 2023 per NCAA, you have to know what's going on. You have to know. It's your responsibility. You are the CEO of your program. You have to know what's going on. And it's hard to do that. You got to know who's on your sidelines. You really do. And I don't know if that's...
it was just like the stupid Hitler thing at the Michigan Stadium.
Do your job.
Somebody got to be in charge of looking at something and making sure that doesn't happen.
And don't bring out 3 different statements. Matt Larson was the first one. Then there was from the board member came out. What the hell's going on? You're not on the same page, Michigan State.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
I love Matt Larson. Well, he came out first. And that came. That was a bad thing.
Who's the spokesperson for Michigan? That's the only person that needs to be talking.
Yeah.
Everybody else, shut up.
Yeah. Now, before we get in between the lines, what happened to Michigan State with not just the Michigan game, we'll put that aside. That was.
We'll try to forget.
That was the worst Spartan Stadium loss for Michigan State in their history. And we're not even going to talk about that. But this board meeting Michigan State had on Friday is a microcosm of the problem out here, a stone's throw from where we're at here, a corner of Grand River and Hagler, the Grand Traverse Pie Company. It was a shouting match right out of Hoosiers. There's people. Break that down for you. Is that the core problem? You got to get a president. You got to get a board on the same page. You got to evaluate all your personnel in the athletic department. Make this hire. Break it down, big guy.
This is why I don't get into politics, because from the top, the Bidens, the Trumps, the whoever's, you have all these people with all these degrees and they're lawyers and excuse my language, but what I saw, that was a shit show.
Yeah, it was.
These are supposed to be the people that are leading 40,000 plus kids and all our coaches and athletes or whatever, and they're acting like complete idiots.
Yeah.
People are sending me clips, and I'm like, what is this? They're like, that's the board of trustees, and I get out of you are kidding me.
So should the board should they kick the chairman off, or what are your thoughts?
I'm not educated enough to know to make those.
I don't know how the
decisions,
dynamics of that works anymore.
But I know that they are embarrassing right now.
Yeah.
And it needs something, like we talked about before, like the president. Well, why would she want to stick around when you have to deal with these people who can't,
they don't even have their liberal candidate right now.
And you're coming after me for this, and you're talking about beating me up this, and like, well, what are you people doing?
Yeah.
It's just one more thing that we as Spartan alumni have to worry about that we shouldn't have to be worried about.
Yeah.
Handle your business. Stop putting your business in the streets. So we always talk about, why you got your business in the street? All your business in the street now.
Yeah.
And
your dirty laundry, right?
We look horrible.
Right. Yeah. Not a good look. And social media festers everything.
Oh yeah.
And social media festers hatred
of
this group against that group. Spartans against Wolverines.
Sure.
Fanboys against fanboys. The other thing is that for back to Michigan people, stay off the internet. You know what I mean? Because all it's going to be is it's just the social media just gets everybody's blood pressure up. Here I say that I'm posting this video on social media, but bringing it real is Kerry Keyton, and he is a Spartan alumni, former player. He's got ownership, in my opinion. Players own the program. Past players own the program, and so when you look at what happened yesterday against Minnesota. That's the 7th consecutive Big Ten loss for Michigan. Michigan State. That's never happened in their program's history. Where do you go from here?
I'm so.
Sam Levitt, the quarterback looked good. That's something to build on.
Came in and took the team right down.
Yeah.
I'm just overly frustrated for the young people. I'd be remiss if I didn't say. People can say what they want to say, but as we've talked and on the screen, off the screen, whatever, what it takes to run a program,
daunting. People have no clue.
Not a clue.
All the 133 teams in FBS, you have no clue what goes in the preparation. I have a son who's in that at Central. I know what goes into a college football program. He knows it from a player's perspective of what goes into that and following that program. And as a high school coach. Attention to detail, everything that goes into that. So people have no idea.
For HB and the staff, those guys, to have been able to keep these kids engaged, playing hard. No, we haven't won, of course not. And again, in the Michigan game, that was just whatever. That was just bad all the way around. But to keep it and keep the kids there, because they could take off.
With a portal? Just a few years ago, you wouldn't have that option. Now you have that option.
And I know some kids have left, and then Simeon left and came back or whatnot. But
Tom Izzo talked about, which is a great resource, HB.
Sure.
To go use your resources.
But to keep those kids there and keep them engaged and fighting, if for nothing else, hey man, like I said, HB. I don't know if I'm not going to be here or not. I don't know. Yeah. Nobody knows. Yeah. But at the same time. You have an opportunity to be here for yourself. Put some good stuff on tape, so if you do decide to leave, you got some tape that you can go and go someplace else. And
part of that's
to stay.
Part of that's being a good team guy.
Absolutely.
They're evaluating team guys as well.
And that kind of frustrated me about Simeon because you're a captain. And how dare you do that? You're supposed to be the help.
But you know what? I give Harlan. He took away his captaincy.
Sure,
that's important.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna let him back. You're gonna lose something. You can't just come up. We're gonna welcome you open arms.
No. And so you just if we beat Iowa, if we beat Iowa, then we beat Rutgers.
Been close. Yeah.
Then there's two wins right there.
Yeah,
then I don't think the Michigan. The score is probably not that bad. I don't think we probably win that game, but there's a different juice going into that game.
Right.
You're on a 2-game winning streak. You're feeling good about yourself.
I thought the Rutgers loss just sucked the life.
Just killed it. Yeah. Because that game was won.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to get a win, that it's gonna make huge ramifications going. Because golly, after this one. I mean,
watch that Husker team. They won several games in a row.
Still got
here.
Ohio State. You still got Penn State.
Yeah.
Indiana ain't looking bad.
Indiana's got new OC,
yesterday.
and they brought it against Penn State.
You
So
know,
I mean, this is the
so-
best. Probably the Nebraska game. This is senior day for Michigan State. Last home game in Spartan Stadium in that regard.
Right.
Because they're going down to Ford Field, and then you got Ohio State, Penn State will be daunting, and so try to end this losing. Just get Harlan Burnett deserves one win. I'm telling you what, hell of a guy, former teammate of yours.
Absolutely.
I mean,
the defense played. I mean, I know we gave up a lot of yards or whatever, but they were on the field for so long yesterday because the offense just did not help us out one bit.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, you playing against other D1 Power 5 schools, you can't be out on the field that long and not have attrition to the point where at the end they're just running the ball right at you. And I will say that was a block in the back on the one touchdown that kind of closed the game. Hey, man,
That's true.
But whatever, it is what it is.
We'll see you in my next break. Again, thanks for the well wishes. I got hit by the flu this past week. Had to move it to Sunday. I think we're going to go Sundays from this point forward again, and drop our content because he brings it real. He's Kerry Keyton, and there's no filter with Kerry Keyton.
Sometimes
He doesn't
good,
wear love goggles. He doesn't wear green and white love goggles, even though he's more Spartan.
You can't do that because that would just be
fooling yourself.
Right? You're what you say, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Because I'm too old for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Too old.
But as long as I've known you, a long time, you've never had a filter.
I'm not gonna mix it. I mean, it is what it is.
Follow our content on Tom's Take Community and Facebook page. Like that if you would. Also out on the YouTube page, Tom's Take Community. No apostrophes in there. Follow that. You can share that with people who are not on Facebook. And so, hey, we'll see you next Sunday a lot. Who knows what's going to drop by the time I post this later this morning in the Michigan situation, and then for Michigan State, see if they can grab a home win. Spartan fans, go out and support your team. Yeah, it's still green and white, right? And hopefully they'll wear green and white, in this next time.
I mean, I like we had that conversation too. I mean, I like the black. I love
you
the
do.
uniform.
I know.
But some of those things need to be earned.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the timing a little bit off. Right?
They hadn't earned the right to wear those. I mean, I know it's a night game, blah blah blah.
Right.
No, we hadn't earned that to wear those yet, in my opinion.
There you go.
So.
And he's got a lot of opinions. Coach Keyton and Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. Until next time,
Go green.
go blue.